An African princess arrives for school, photographed by Eve Arnold, Kensington, London, 1964. Marilyn Monroe filming the iconic subway grate scene in The 7-Year Itch, 1955. April, 1971, Londonderry, Northern Ireland. Office at the beginning of the 20th century. The future Queen Elizabeth, 1936. American wrestler Everett Marshall practices wrestling techniques on his sparring partner, 1936. Inuit hunter, displaying his yearly catch of Arctic fox, Canadian Arctic, photographed by Richard Harrington sometime between 1948 and 1953. Portrait of John F. Kennedy, member of the United States House of Representatives from Massachusetts' 11th Congressional District, taken during his first year in office, 1947. Colonel Roosevelt and the Rough Riders in July 1898. Mamie Van Doren, 1950s. A woman with bound feet lying on a bench in a photographer's studio with a book. Shanghai, 1880s. Beauty to Beast photographer Bruce Gilden, Coney Island, 1969. Aidan de Bruin completed the first recorded walk around Australia's perimeter. Leaving Sydney in 1921, he spent 2.5 years on foot before returning after traveling about 16,190 kilometers. Sailors from the American cruiser Miami collect shell casings after shelling the island of Palau, 1944. Mermaid show at Weeki Wachee Springs State Park. Vicki Smith performing in 1960, Spring Hill, Florida. Debbie Reynolds on skates, circa 1950s. Soviet soldiers and one of the banners hoisted over the Reichstag. 1945. Ringo Starr with a sandwich during the filming of a music video. 1964. Women collecting firewood, Altai, Gornaya Shoria, 1913. The Demon Core, the core of the third atomic bomb in World War II that was never dropped, 1945. U.S. Navy swim call, Pacific Ocean, 1983. Swimmers read from Mao's quotations before a swim to commemorate the second anniversary of Mao's bathing in the Yangtze River, 1968, Harbin, China. Car polo was a silly and dangerous sport from the early 1900s. Four Boys Riding Goats, CA 1918. Elsie Alcock has lived in the same house for 104 years. She was born in June 1918 in this house in Huthwaite, Nottinghamshire. Migrant cotton picker's child, Shafter Camp, California, 1938. Motherly Care, Tehran, February 9th, 1979. Tea and bread sustained a revolution. After soldiers joined the demonstrations, civilians brought provisions into the streets. 19-year-old Colin Farrell in 1995. Suffragettes March in Washington for Women's Rights, March 3, 1913. Pennsylvania Avenue was packed with onlookers during the parade. A Gay Couple, 1878. Group of 9 Inuit posing for the camera, 1913. Penagos, a 22-year-old woman from the Yanomami tribe in Amazonas, Brazil. Office, beginning of the 20th century. (1930s) Jewish Berber woman, Morocco. Bikini swimsuit contest, California, 1986. (1935) A cosmetologist applies tubes and pads to a man's head. Family migrating during the Dust Bowl era, 1939, United States, during the Great Depression. Hippies frolicking during the Summer of Love. Celebrating the victory over Germany, Lisbon, May 8, 1945. British servicemen in drag acting out a cooking class, 1910-1919. East German border guards carry away a refugee who was wounded by East German machine gun fire as he dashed through communist border installations toward the Berlin Wall in 1971. Stuntman John Dean stands on nails he installed in his car to train his endurance, February 26, 1981. Joyce Heiser, 1985. In 1985, Georges Courtois was on trial for armed robbery when accomplice Abdelkarim Kalki smuggled in weapons. Courtois seized the guns and took magistrates as hostages. A tunnel rat explores a hole between floors of a Viet Cong tunnel system. Vietnamese War. Unconcerned tourist at Yellowstone Park poses as bear leans by her car window, 1967. A young woman receives dressing for her burned arms, October 4, 1945, at the Red Cross Hospital in Hiroshima. In 1962, the United States aircraft carrier USS Independence encountered Italy's Amerigo Vespucci in the Mediterranean. John Candy and his daughter Jennifer, 1983. Patterned gown, fashion, 1970s. Jackie Chan in the United Kingdom, 1980. Mount St. Helens erupts on July 27, 1980. Metallica 1972. Forced conversion of Serbs, independent state of Croatia, 1941. Soviet soldier with the head of a statue of Hitler, 1945. From 1785 to 1922, White Wolf, as known as Chief John Smith, said to have lived 137 years. John F. Kennedy relaxes with his dog, June 22, 1946. (1980s) Soviet informals. Visitors to the heroic defense of Leningrad exhibition in the Trophy Hall near a pyramid of helmets, 1944. Bombay brothels in the late 1970s. Prices for services were less than $1. One of the Small Boys in J.S. Farron and Comer, Baltimore, Maryland, 1909. Monica Bellucci for Guy Laroche, Spring-Summer 93 in Paris, France, January 24, 1993. Iggy Pop at Tea Ceremony 1977. Handprints of Iraqi victims burnt onto the walls of the Amaria shelter. The United States Air Force bombed the shelter with 2 smart bombs. Baghdad, 1991, during the Gulf War. A woman in Sarajevo shows off her tattoos, Bosnia, 1912. Victorian cat lady. Funny vintage bride. Pro-Vietnam War protest, circa 1968. German soldiers fooling around in the barracks. World War II. Sir Douglas Robert Stuart Bader, the English Mareschef, lost both legs in battle but continued to fly and fight. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder hanging out during their promotional tour for Silver Streak, 1976. Russian strongman Samson, also known as Alexander Zass, performs strength feat, 1910s. Here's 5'1" Miriam Colon next to 6'7" James Arness. Abandoned House on the Prairie, Haskell County, Kansas, 1897. Mrs. Guilford Dudley of Nashville with ear trumpet, talking into ear of Democratic donkey, played by Mrs. Mary Semple Scott in skit at 1920 National American Woman Suffrage Association in World War II. United States PT boat firing its Mark 8 torpedoes, date and location unknown. One-legged race in New York, 1918. Young Queen Elizabeth at 22. Portrait of Istvan Reiner, taken shortly before he died in Auschwitz. He was 4 years old. Photo by Melvin Sokolsky taken in Paris in the spring of 1965. Helica aeromobile from the 1920s. Wooled Nail Girls. Photo by Rudolf Lehnert, 1904. A woman with bound feet, sitting, with her shoes nearby. China, 1880s. A locksmith photographed by Korean photographer Chung Bum-tae in Namdaemun Market, Seoul in 1956. November 19, 1960, Mao Zedong and Ernesto Che Guevara met. Soldiers of the American 92nd Division somewhere in France. They fought in the Meuse-Argonne offensive during the closing months of the war. 1918. In 1964, 17-year-old Randy Gardner conducted an experiment where he stayed awake for 11 days and 25 minutes. Ulster Loyalist militant Michael Stone attacks a provisional IRA funeral in Belfast with pistols and grenades. Ruskis, go home. Graffiti painted in place of a torn-down Red Star during the Hungarian Revolution. Central Budapest, 1956. View of New York City seen from the International Space Station during the September 11, 2001 attacks. Monica Bellucci, 90s. Elvis Presley and his parents, 1937. Bosnian snipers, including Nadia Jerijagic at left, with an SVD Dragunov set up on a couch from a position on the 20th floor of an apartment building during the siege of Sarajevo, c. 1992. 1995. Josef Kudelka, Easter religious celebrations near Colasano, Sicily, 1993. Noblesville, Indiana, 1973, site of a KKK rally. As the Klan's top official finished dressing in his ornamental robe and hat, two youthful blacks approached him, each offering him the peace sign. Elza 129, Hindenburg's final flight over Lakehurst, New Jersey on May 3, 1937. (1980s). A funny photo of two punks with pitchforks. Flooding at the foot of Main Street in downtown Peoria on April 15, 1922. Women's Fire Brigade, London, 1925. Child running in the park, New York City, Diane Arbus, 1959. a victim of the atomic bomb blast over Hiroshima, in a makeshift hospital in a bank building. Anthony Piernas helped Linda Porter hang her laundry in Pass Christian, Mississippi, 2 days after Hurricane Camille heavily damaged the church and apartment house in the background, 1969. 2 Indian soldiers carry a weeping Chinese prisoner of war to an exchange point in Panmunjom, North Korea, after the end of the Korean War. The United States Navy, as well as the German and Soviet navies, investigated refueling seaplanes from submarines. Here, the Guavina refuels a P-5M Marlin in 1955. A Russian girl in national costume, 19th century. Tina Louise during production of God's Little Acre, 1958. Disappointed but unharmed, a vacationing couple pose with their Pontiac Catalina. 1969. Alice Roosevelt sitting on a stone statue in the tomb of the Korean Empress in 1905. The Twin Towers, 9/11/2001. Detroit celebrates its 250th birthday with a fireboat's 5-gun salute, 1951. A group of children gathered to watch a hay wagon overturn in Cardiff on September 3, 1936. John Lennon and Yoko Ono with the car he crashed in 1969 during a holiday in Scotland. Jennifer Aniston with her parents, 1975. Danse troupe White Cuirassier, Théâtre Scala de Lyon, France, 1908. Alternative fashion in Russia in the 1990s. Model Larey, 1992. A police officer and his dog riding a motorcycle, 1930. The Berberov family with lion, Soviet Baku, modern-day Azerbaijan, 1970s. Little girl in a sharecropper's shack in the Missouri Ozarks during the Great Depression, 1936. The use of high-frequency current for treatment, CY 10. Soviet soldiers listened to an accordion player while sitting on the frame of a 122mm M30 howitzer on a Berlin street. World War II. Piecemeals, New York City, 1937. A cat and a bulldog in a toy car. 3rd of July, 1933. Sami girls from Telemark, southern Norway, late 1800.